Greetings and welcome to your destination. You've reached the Psychological Wellness Hub. We aim to help you build your knowledge and wellness around better understanding mental health and psychological concepts. Welcome back to the channel. Today's topic is military life for service members or veterans and their families. An introduction for civilians. This video is specifically designed for civilians to better understand their service member or veterans and their family members, for those that support them. What is a military service member or a veteran? This video is geared towards civilians to better understand their military or veteran family members or friends and the military culture. This is to help them better understand and be a better support, friend, family member to the service member. Service members or veterans, I cannot possibly know everything about every branch, so please don't beat me up too bad on this video if I don't get everything completely accurate. I've also found that most vets I've worked with don't know everything about every single branch, as they are an expert in the branch or branches they respectively served under. Men and women who served in the military are among the ranks of heroes we have here in the United States. However, many of them won't accept this title as they feel they just did their job and that they were part of a larger community that worked towards a collective effort. Military, service member, and veterans are all terms used equally to identify those men and women who served. What do we mean by served? There are 6 branches to the U.S. military: Army, Navy, Marine Corps, Air Force, Space Force, and Coast Guard. Men and women enlist in the U.S. military voluntarily at present. At times throughout U.S. history, there were mandatory drafts that occurred, which is a form of military conscription. During these times, there were compulsory or mandatory enlistments in the military. Men and women who have college degrees prior to entering the military may also be afforded opportunities to enter the military as an officer with opportunities for advancement. People who enter the military are described in general terms to identify what branch they are part of. So for the Army, military service members are referred to as soldiers. Marine Corps service members are referred to as Marines. In the Navy, service members are referred to as sailors. Air Force, airmen. Space Force, guardians. Coast Guard, Coast Guardsmen. Service members are also classified more specifically by their MOS, or military occupational specialty. Basically, what type of job or role they had in the branch of service they were in, whether it was the Army, Marine Corps, Coast Guard, or others. For example, an Army infantryman, or 11 Bravo, Marine infantryman, 0311, boatswain mate, BM. Service members in the Navy use the different types of MOS classifications called Naval Ratings or Naval Enlisted Class, NECs, designators. For example, the FT or Fire Control Technicians, the MM Machinist Mates, GM Gunner's Mate. Airmen in the Air Force and Guardians in the Space Force use different MOS classifications called Air Force Specialty Codes. For example, the 1N8X1 is a target analysis, and the 1D7X1 is a cyber defense operations. Veterans in each branch carry on their role or job as part of a larger meaning, mission, and purpose. Service members are listed like grassroots workers, Bs, and officers who maintain the chain of command, giving orders like bosses at different levels in the management. Following commands with personal tact, personal responsibility, and precision can be the difference between the mission and objective being completed or not at all. It can be the difference between life or death. It can be the difference between winning or losing a battle. It can be the difference between protecting or failing to protect a U.S. nuclear site. Types of roles or jobs military service members do, and the value to us as a country. We typically know that with different branches, there are very specific military roles. For example, we know the Army and the Marine Corps protect us from the land. We know that the Air Force and Space Force protect us from the sky. We know the Navy and Coast Guard keep our oceans and coasts safe by monitoring them from the sea. However, did you know that each branch has a bit of overlap on these areas of protection? See more below. I will not be able to cover all of the different types of roles just for sake of time and the purpose of this video. Please note that any role not covered here is just as equally important as the value of ones that are mentioned. As stated above, some veterans are infantrymen. These individuals are involved in ground operations, in peacekeeping missions. They're usually the first group to go in and provide several areas of help. They could go to be enforcers, peacekeepers, run security, help provide first aid. Infantrymen are known to be resilient fighters and referred to by nicknames like grunts, or other names they call each other, which we'll leave out of this video. Laugh out loud. During times of deployment to theaters or other combats of war, infantrymen are usually the first to arrive to fight and stage the initial area to continue the fight. There are service members who provide medical care, like a civilian doctor. In fact, they are often referred to as Doc by their fellow comrades, their fellow service members. This may be Army medics, Naval corpsmen, Air Force or Space Force, maybe medical service technicians or med techs, Coast Guard's health services technicians. In peacekeeping missions, they may provide care for local nationals or the local population of the area that they're serving, like in another country, as well as service members. They may do anything from providing band-aid to emergency surgery in a military tent in some foreign land. During times of deployment to theaters of combat or war specifically, Army medics and Naval corpsmen are usually expected to fight right alongside with infantrymen, combat engineers, EOD, and more. So while they're discharging their weapons at the enemy, they're also expected to monitor the health and safety of their fellow service members around them and provide emergency care when needed right in the middle of the attack. They may also work in a battlefield tents, doing major operations or surgical interventions back at the forward operating base or combat outpost. They may be part of a helicopter team who picks up wounded in action or killed in action service members or their fellow comrades and provide life-sustaining measures till they can get back to the main staging area or military hospital for further medical interventions. Kind of like when you see a paramedic or an EMT does on a flight or a life flight to a hospital. Air Force pilots, Naval aviators, Marine Corps aviators, Army aviators or pilots, and Coast Guard aviators are men and women service members who are responsible for providing support from the air. In peacekeeping missions, they may be responsible for distributing things like supplies from one location to the next. They may be responsible for picking up injured local nationals, meaning again the local people of the area they're serving, or military members. During the deployment to a combat zone, they are often involved in picking up the injured or killed local nationals, wounded in action service members. They may also be involved in fighting missions. Pilots on large carrier planes like B-52 bombers or C-130s may discharge large bombs like JDAM or larger caliber cannons to provide support. Helicopters like Blackhawks or Apaches will engage in support of providing cover or direct fire for ground operations. Fixed-wing aircraft or jets like the A-10 Warhawk or the F-22 Raptor will provide close air support and drop bombs like GBU-12s in a fire mission to provide support and cover fire or direct fire for ground operations. Engineers in Army, Air Force, Marine Corps, EOD, CBs are all engineering and ordnance units designed to help carry on daily operations. They are responsible for engineering fortifications like building or fortifying forts, mobility, counter-mobility, survivability, road or bridge construction and maintenance, building, fighting positions. In peacetime operations, they may go to a country and help them build schools or hospitals. EOD, or Explosive Ordnance and Disposal personnel, may help disarm dangerous booby traps left in those places of peacekeeping missions. During deployment or combat zones, engineers, CBs, and EOD are often involved in supporting the fighting efforts. They may help put up logistical operations. An engineer, a CB, or an EOD might be up on a ladder working on an electrical line or scaling a building and taking a pot shot by a sniper in the area or being shot at during an ambush while they're out in a convoy of military vehicles. They may have EOD trying to help them determine the best course of action to move around or disarm a roadside bomb known as an IED or an improvised explosive device. Artillery service members are usually tracked military vehicles with large cannons on them or have towable cannons that are staged to provide support fire. These service members are usually responding to call to fire missions where someone radios in a need for support and the artillery send a large artillery round out of a cannon to provide support to the area against enemy combatants. Mechanized or armored divisions of the U.S. military involve tracked military vehicles like tanks, armored personnel carriers or APCs, Bradley infantry fighting vehicles. They can also be sea and land-based vehicles like the Marine Corps amphibious fighting vehicles or AFVs. The service members usually respond to these missions where someone radios in a need for additional support to an area against enemy combatants or in direct fire missions against enemy combatants whom are dismounted ground troops or mounted opposing forces, which may also include armored vehicles like tanks or BMPs. Naval ships like frigates, destroyers, battleships are more crucial to maintaining our presence in the major seas. Each service member on that ship plays a crucial role in the functioning of that ship. A couple of sailors being off their game could be the difference between a successful and unsuccessful objective or mission being completed. Sailors are on the flight deck making sure that it's safe and coordinated flights. They are on radars watching for other vessels or threats. They are in the engine room and many other places on the ship. The Navy are sometimes used in peacekeeping missions, at times staging areas for local national refugees to get them out or immediately out of the danger area of the country and put them on the ship. They may also use their cannons, guns, or missiles to attack water, air, or land-based targets to support the overall combat missions. Command and support personnel during peacekeeping missions and during deployments to combat zones. These could be individuals that are in the TOC, or Technical Operations Center, like the Mind Hive location for battle coordinators and support. They can be officers, radar technicians. They can use equipment like the POO, or POO operations, so point of origin operations. They can pinpoint a general origin of a location of an enemy fired ordnance. There can be service members directing fire missions on the ground, air, and armored assaults. There could be service members relaying intelligence to units about road safety conditions or updates regarding opposing forces of enemies in the area. They could also be on a ship coordinating rescue missions, navigating radar, coordinating the launch of jets and helicopters and off the flight deck of a ship. They could be airmen who are coordinating drone flights or assaults. Again, too much to cover everyone, but all service members play a crucial role in the safety and security of the United States and abroad. We hope you found today's topic was useful for you or someone else. Let us know if it was by commenting below. Let us know what you'd like to hear about or what topics could be useful to you by commenting below, and we'll take it into consideration. If you like what you heard today and would like to hear more from Destination Psychological Wellness Hub, please consider liking and subscribing the channel by selecting the subscribe button below the screen and by clicking that thumbs up button. This will help you get the newest content produced by the channel to you. Please tell all your friends and family about this channel and share these videos on this channel with them. Encourage them too to like and subscribe. And as always, we hope your psychological wellness continues to grow with us in this community. Thank you.